Welcome to the second match of the 31st Grand Arena season. I'm playing against Dragons, and I think I've played against them before, but I'm not sure. I've seen their name a couple of times, and I'm too lazy to look at my old videos, sorry. Again, a little bit late, second match, we're already in the second week, so I will try to round up the first week as soon as possible. So let's jump right into this match. First fight was Maul, Mandalorians, and Droideka against GAC, which is kind of a rare occasion nowadays with Datacrons in the game, especially with those TM Datacrons or those stupid ones you can get for Galactic Republic with stuns and everything. So it was quite fortunate that the Datacron on this team wasn't too crazy, and so I could comfortably take in Maul, and you've seen this a couple of times when you've seen all the videos of me. It's pretty straightforward. Make GAC sit down, essentially kill 5s, kill Rex, and then just as they fall. And I myself also had a Datacron applied, but at level 3 or something, a little bit of extra offense, so which helps, of course, if you play against GAC. And as you can see, I have a very tanky Django, so that's why he's beefy enough to take the hits from GAC. So started with full banner, so that was nice. Then jumped into the second battle. This is all South Wall battles. Array Mirror, which is nice, but at the same time, I'm not really comfortable in playing Array Mirrors in 5 vs 5 without using Jedi on my team, or I don't know, at least Bastila and Hoda, because I kind of appreciate ability blocks, so it's easier in freeze for me, at least. Another team you could use in 5s, of course, is Bam and Creel, which potentially might be interesting going forward when the Under-Ray, of course, when the first set of Datacrons for Ray is fading out, because then you might get just the spam of damage unity from Bam for the team when you use Ray with Scoundrels. Derating a bit, yeah. As you've seen, I lost Ray, but also was able to take out their Ray, like JTR. And so it's, again, a battle of timing, so to say. She's in her ultimate, I'm in mine, she's coming out of it, I'm still in mine, so I get some extra oomph, can take out the sides. But unfortunately, only got Ray and damage unity, so she can take out my Finn, which is unfortunate. But at this point, I feel quite comfortable just winning this by essentially timing the ults right. Of course, now it's a bit different because of the TM gain difference that you get with the 15%, because I have still 2 characters in my team. She is alone. So it's a tricky thing to time these things, but then again, in the end, maybe not so tricky. So she's in hers, I'm mine, comes out of it, nothing happens, so I take her out. Got very bad banners, of course, but I take it. It's always nasty, better than having to two-shot the whole thing. Then this time there is a vanilla Malgus, no vanilla because there's no talent, so I thought let's give this bounty hunter thing team another try and potentially play it better. I still have to figure out a good way to do it. I guess if you want to see how it is done, check out Van Seal. I think he's way more proficient in that than I am, but also I didn't really mod my team for that. It's just I don't have the best mods on my bounty hunters, and which still is a bit of a safety net very often for the mods. Anyway, I got my contract, and just the aim is to take out Malgus first, and for that you need a Datacron with 25% TM for lighted characters. So sad thing about this counter will fade out pretty soon, because then there is no Datacron there that does that, and 25% turn meter just help you to get out early, and yeah, dispel the taunt and do all the kind of stuff to get the contract first. Besides the Omicron from Sand you need for that battle as well. Yeah, but then it went the Southfield again. That sounds weird, Southfield, down the drain, I don't know. You know what I mean. And so Grief trying to fight alone, but not really successful. So unfortunately I have to two-shot the whole thing. But before that I wanted to clear Lord Vader team, which was also in the south. It's the anti-Supreme Leader Kylo Ren comp, but I usually feel comfortable taking this fight. But this time it was a bit weird Here I should have cleansed a zombie or do something else, I don't know. Suddenly I got fractured and have no access to get out of it because I know I'm just slowed down, but it's still not fast enough for my Kylo Ren to take a turn before Vader goes, and he just kills his Kylo Ren. Oh, that was so funny and so frustrating. So yeah, I just X'd out of the fight. And then took in Galactic Republic. I mean, now I can say it because all the history is up. I kind of played efficiency like the first week mostly, mainly having JML in defense, but that's why it doesn't really hurt me to have two-shot these things or these teams, but at the same time, of course it hurts you, right? It doesn't hurt you in the game in the sense of, oh, I can not full clear, but it hurts you in the sense of, oh, I have to waste good teams on this, and so if the back wall is quite heavy, I have there's trouble waiting for me. But yeah, better clear the front wall and see what's behind than just not clearing anything, just for the sake of it. And potentially I should have used this counter in the first place. Sometimes like a dark counter which is more dicey, like Kylo Ren, or you have one which is like safe, and you just... Personally, I tend to go for the dicier one just because it's more fun generally and more interesting to look at as well in terms of content creation, which is not my main goal, of course, but still. But when you lose a match because of that, no spoiler or something, just as a general remark, then of course you're just mad at yourself. So why have I done that? So yeah, but I have time talking about these things because this match is pretty straightforward. The only thing you have to take care of is timing your ultimates right. So ideally, after Lord Vader had his ultimate, so you can cleanse all the shenanigans from him. And as you can see, I took out all the sides. He's in his ultimate, he is using it. Unfortunately, I lost Cat, which was, yeah, a little bit bad play on my part, because I made some mistakes throughout this match where I could have used my cleanse abilities better. But anyway, still feel comfortable enough just to take on this Lord Vader, because I have stacking offense on my Datacron for JMK. So after a while, even though you have no Cat and all the bonuses from her are gone, there is enough damage in your team just to take him out. And essentially for that is also the hitting immunity you get from JMK. So this was clutch. If JMK wouldn't have that, I think I would have lost this battle. So spoiler, I'm winning this battle here. Because eventually Lord Vader cannot catch up, cannot heal himself, and then it's always bad for him. So unfortunately, two-shot, unfortunately not very good banners again, but I made it through. Then I used C solo versus this Darth Revan, or like the leftover from the Sith Empire, and what a little bit underestimated here is that there's still the Datacron applied and it's still very strong, so they have some extra offense or special damage in that case, which is more important for Darth Revan. And they also had like this 2% damage on debuffs and all that kind of stuff, so it's kind of dicey actually what I did there. It feels not so dicey when you use Super Meter Kylo Ren, because I don't know, he's faster of course than my C. He can stun if that applies, and he can just like also dispel all debuffs from himself, or cleanse rather. And so with C you always have to use Link and wait for them to fall off and blah blah blah. So as you can see, it's dicey, but I managed to get into ult, getting some protection back before I trigger my ult, so that was the plan here. That's why I did that, just to have a little bit more comfort when going there. And if there was an ability block now, I would have been done for, I guess, but there wasn't, so could have grilled the team, and so took out that team and was at the back wall, I guess, already. And there was a Qui-Gon Jinn team, not too threatening because there was no Datacron involved, as you can see. I still applied one on mine because they were quite fast, and that's why I had a comfort of having like one or two of these 25% Datacrons, which just helps Bad Batch here to make it a very easy match. But again, they are fading out, so it's, I guess, more difficult for Qui-Gon just to be very good on defense, I'd say. If you have a very fast Echo or Tech, like both need to be kind of fast. Anyway, there was another team that you see quite often, which is Admiral Raddus on the back wall. And I think it's, yeah, so far didn't really pose problems to me in 5s. I think it's the first season I'm seeing of 5s. I think this on defense. I'm not sure, maybe the last 5 versus 5 was already there, but I don't think so. In 3s it can be annoying. In 5 so far it was okay. Just kill Raddus first. Here I put Isolate and Red, which might have been a mistake. Should have put it on one of the tanks. A double tank can be a little bit troublesome when they get in the way of Nihilus. But then again, overall, Sith Empire is a good counter, of course. Problem is, you get bad banners, so if you really have to play efficiency, like a hardcore efficiency, it might not be the best team to do that. But at the same time, it feels very reliable and also gives Talon the opportunity to do some damage here. I gave her the Omicron like back in the day for using the team as a Lord Vader counter. Which still is possible, also outside of GAC. You can also do that in territory wars. But anyway, derailing a bit. She does quite some damage. Many people don't give her credit, but as you've seen with the AoE, she took out almost the whole team. And so she's really good. But I guess now more on the Sith Empire team than the Traya team. Then there was the CLS team, something you don't see that often, but now with the Datacrons for CLS, people put it on defense. So vanilla team, so then I felt again comfortable taking an Iden, and again quite offensive Iden team I'm using with range and Death Trooper, which usually you would potentially want to save for Weir's, but I think for this team they're better, because with the assists, the retribution, the double taps from Death Trooper with the days and all these kind of things really help, just like to chew through these CLS teams. As you can see, focus down Chewie first and then the rest of the team, so quite easy, I'd say. Then there was quite fast of my team with I forgot what it was on the level 9, but I didn't want to take any risk, and so I took in my Starkiller with the traditional 5 vs 5 comp, EP Mara, Visas, and then a Jedi tank. I had used old Ben here, as you can see, and once I get it going, it's pretty much over for the other team, because my Mara Jade is very fast, she is some potency, so she can land debuffs, and she has, for this team I also like to apply this Datacron, which will also fade out pretty soon, where you get a chance of cooldown reductions when you apply debuffs, and that helps Mara Jade quite a bit. And then this was an interesting match. This was the top wall already. This is a Night Sister team with a level 9 Datacron. I think on Talzin was the one. And for defense, I think Asajj lead is the better lead, and so my opponent said that. And I wasn't really sure what to expect. They also had applied the Omicron on Visas. So I wasn't sure, a mystery box a little bit, because I haven't seen any footage of that before, and still felt quite okay just using troopers. Of course, with the passive TM gain under Asajj lead, it can be tricky, and then you have the Datacron, the Omicron and Datacron stuff on top of it. It wasn't really frightening in that sense, but at the same time, I didn't want to underestimate it, so I took in a very strong trooper team. As you can see, quite a lot of TM gain opportunities between Stark, Piet, Weir's, and also TM removal from Gideon. So felt quite good. Then there was a bit of a nasty smuggler scoundrel team, because I forgot about, like, I didn't forget it, but it was like I underestimated it a little bit, because of course he can't stun Queel, so he can do his like TM stuff, and then they get going, and dash stasis can be annoying, as you can see here. And when they now decide to go for JKR, it can be quite annoying. So, and then I didn't really have access to Mando, as you can see, but now I got it, and so once he's out, it's pretty straightforward. Just get control back over the fight and then get some counters in from JKL, and then it's, yeah, pretty easy. So take out Nest because she's annoying. Then swapping turns, cleansing, stunning dash, killing dash, or attempt to do so. Just, you know, counter attacks will do. Mainly trying to do that because I don't want to get dazed again. And then for the rest of the fight, just focus down those this annoying couple. Again, stun. You can't get stun him, but you can at least stun IG. And so did that. Cleansing again, trying to get some banners back overall, but yeah, doesn't really matter. Yeah, and I took Blow because he can give you some TM, which is nice. So he's a good tank as well. Felt also better to use Old Ben on the Starkiller team, so that's why Blow was on this team. And then I think this is the almost last round battle. First order team with the Omicron on the Thai guy. And yeah, I didn't really feel threatened by that team, but also didn't want to underestimate it, so I took in a trio of Lord Vader, Darth Vader, and Thrawn. Thrawn mainly to take stunts, or just to stand there. No, just kidding. Mainly because I tried to fracture like either crew or Red Trooper, but he seems to be a primary target for many teams, so that's why they stunned him instead of Darth Vader in the beginning, and so he could do some shenanigans. Overall, you potentially could solo this with Lord Vader. It just takes a while. That's why I generally sped up this fight a little bit, as you can see, or as you might have guessed, because those Lord Vader battles are very often a drag. And I recently had a comment on one of the videos why I'm playing in 4X. And while I know that's sometimes nice to appreciate animations, I feel that a lot of animations nowadays are just made for 4X. When you think about linking from C or other abilities, or like when Cara Dune is doing her stuff and running to the opponent, and it just takes forever. While it is nice, it just can lead to timeout. So that's why I'm playing on 4X, just like as additional feedback there. And even like when you play on auto in 4X, some Lord Vader battles, especially versus JMK, just there's always a risk of timing out. And here I'm just trying to get banners back just by waiting that I can finish the fight with the special from Lord Vader, which wasn't the case, but still got undersized banners, so that was nice. Then going into fleets, nothing surprising here. There was a Raddus fleet, so taking in Rebels. The only thing that is sometimes a little bit of difference is the starting lineup for the fleet. So depending on what you see here, you take out either Race Millennium Falcon or the X-Wing, if the other X-Wing, if this is around, or if she's around, because I think it's a female pilot, because she can land days, which is annoying. And then Poe is also like always a threat, so those are the main targets. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward, I guess. Yeah, I wonder if there will any time at some point still like add another resistance ship just to make it 5 and just like buff the team a little bit. But anyway, 75 banners, that was nice. Then there was a Executor, and so I took in my Finalizer. But in this match I was a bit like not confused. I just I played it weird, I guess. That's what I was going to say. Because I always have to pay attention to what I'm doing, especially like with those ships that are like semi-transparent here, like with the shuttle and TIE Silencer. And so here I made the right move, but then I forgot that I need to do the big hit on Xanadu, and suddenly Xanadu was what's it called, under stealth, and now I'm like, oh my god, misplay. And usually that doesn't happen because it's pretty much like clockwork, but sometimes if you haven't done the battle for a few days, or I don't know, something gets in your way and you feel super confused, and then these things happen. So essentially risk of a loss here, and then I have to clean up this fleet, but just try to push through, see the best what I can do. It's always like pushing through, then yeah, Slave 1 comes in, ability block, but then they get their contract, stun Slave 1, then try and get an assist on Slave 1 from Silencer so that I can at least take out one ship. That was my goal now. Can take out Slave 1, which is great. Ideally, and I can also take out Xanadu, or even better, Hound's Tooth. But it's looking grim here, like I lost 2 ships, so, and almost a third ship here, but finally get a reinforcement in, can call in Ebon Hawk, can land some buffing UT, which is clutch, and unfortunately don't have the chance to use a big hit from Silencer on Hound's Tooth, which would have been the end from Hound's Tooth, because by that point in time the offense was just through the roof on Silencer, and so a little bit of TM gain or something, or speed was missing, and then I could have taken out one more ship, but so I had to clean this up. But before doing so, I wanted to clear the other fleet, which is Empire. Not a surprise there, a lot of people put on defense, myself included. So I used Negotiator this time, which can be dicey when there's TIE Fighter pilot and you give them a chance to get TM by TIE Fighter dodging your AoE or whatever you do. But this time was quite nice. Could have take 2 ships before they even got a reinforcement, so that was nice. But still, the TIE Bomber is there, TIE Silencers coming, TIE Interceptors coming out. Sorry, and so it's a little annoying. Calling in Plo potentially should have done the healing move, because they always go for Anakin, and TIE Interceptor is quite a good damage dealer, so quite some oomph there. And I still struggle to get out TIE Bomber. But Anakin is gone now. Usually this is very bad. So now I'm making this second life ability. Yeah, but still feeling okay, because 1 ship's now 2 ships. And so there is a chance for me just to still push through and not getting a loss here. Which of course would have been very, very bad, because I already have 1 fail in fleets and I have to clean up a executor fleet, and so if I fail here again, I might have failed myself. Then Thrawn gets his ultimate off, but it didn't take out one of my ships, I guess, or maybe there was second life involved. I didn't pay attention now. Sorry. Yeah, but overall, felt okay. 1 mass assist on the shuttle, and then 56, sorry. 65. German English, weird. So bad banners, but at least 1 shot, and now I have my own executor fleet to clear this fleet, which at this point in time, when there is no Slave 1 coming out and almost the specials are used up, it kind of feels okay to have it TM loaded, so not much of a problem. You go second in that case, so that's not a big issue. But other than that, just do as you would normally do, just focus down Razor Crest or try to get it out. At the same time, try not to ignore Xanadu, but Razor Crest is more important. So then I got out their reinforcement, of course, which was IG as expected, and I think IG is it's usually not as threatening as Slave 1, I think. Then I got my other contract, or whatever you want to call it, and then it was easy to use the bomb from Slave 1, could take out Razor Crest here, then focusing down IG, and so it's pretty much 4 versus 1. I'm still 5 away from my ultimate, but also not really threatened by the ultimate meter from the other executor, so it's quite okay. Healing, of course, which is always annoying, but still. I'm using basic here because there's no need for me to call a reinforcement. Just would cost banners at this point in time, and so just bit by bit taking down the ship, which is boring to see, but it is what it is. It's fleet. Boring. not really boring, it can be entertaining, but also very frustrating with all the dodges that are going on there. I always think like the 2% dodge chance are more like 20%. Sometimes this is annoying, that the animation feels like it's stuck, because the ship isn't there anymore, how's it called? The mother ship, the capital ship, which sometimes is super weird. In my head it creates like, I'm feeling like I skipped a heartbeat or something because what's going on? Why is it moving? Why is it stuck? So I think they could improve that a little bit. It's kind of weird. Anyway, rambling here because my ships are just doing their job, taking out this Hound's Tooth, and then the final blow comes from Slave 1, so got bad banners here, but overall was enough for me to take the victory. My opponent failed I think the same amount of time as I did, but overall didn't have a very good defense or offensive runs, so took this home, 2-1 so far the first week, and yeah, see you for the last match of first week in a bit. Thanks for watching, bye!